To the family of Mama ASIYO, led by my brother Caesar, and my sister Adis, to the leadership of the church that is present here, including Elder Kawino. Those who do not know Elder Kawino is the one in charge of the finances of that political party called ODM. And I want to advise other parties that if you want a person to look after the resources of the party, you should get an elder from the SDA church, because for all the years that ODM has been in existence, and because we are publicly financed, we have never had an audit query. We have received clean audits by the Auditor General's office because of this gentleman here. So I am very serious when I say, get someone from the SDA church, preferably an elder, to look after your finances. I am here in my capacity as a Senator for Nairobi, as SG of ODM, as a Deputy Whip of the Minority, my brother Caesar, to say pole on behalf of the entire party, the leadership of the party, some of whom have reached out directly to you. Caesar and Adis are amongst the people who can say they knew Sifuna before the rest of you knew Sifuna. These are people who can testify to where I have come from in my journey. I consider you and your entire family as my friends, and following the demise of Mama, I say that I have to come and say pole. I may not be able to join you on Saturday, but I want you to know that we are together. I will leave this service, I think the right word to use is incited, by the life of Mama. I have read through this beautiful eulogy of hers about the story of her life, and it has reminded me of the things that we are having conversations about even today, about the centrality of values in every discourse, and that you can never ever compromise your values. She has taught me to challenge established norms. She was a challenger of established norms about the place of women. If you go to page 2 here, and the Senator for Homa Bay has alluded to it, that in fact during her time, women were not allowed to study math and English. There is no non-justification for that. But she challenged these established norms about the place of women, about the place of the youth. We are having a conversation in this country, and I remember even growing up that when young people spoke, most of the time it was interpreted as disrespect. Our own mothers, you know, our generation have seen these things. We were taught by our fathers that the place of women was in the kitchen. It was our fathers who taught us these things. But Mama ASIYO is teaching us that in fact if you give women the opportunity to be also in the living room and in those decision rooms, a lot of progress can be achieved. If you ask the women here, who is the biggest impediment to the progress of women, what will they say? Say it loudly so that the men are the biggest impediment to the growth of women and the women's movement. Isn't that so? I am very proud as SG of ODM. My leader, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, has taught us that men have only 2 options when it comes to women's progress in this country. You either support the women's movement or get out of their way. It is that simple. They will take care of themselves. So, if you look at all these beautiful women seated here, and powerful women seated here, we have taken deliberate action as a party. Millie Odhiambo, you can bear me witness that all of you in the 2022 elections were handed direct tickets. And I remember men who used to come to my office saying, "Oh, Sifuna, I want to run in Suba North." I'm like, "But bro, you are a man. There is no way the party is subjecting Millie Odhiambo to primaries against a man. If you want to run in Mbita, in her constituency, can you please be of the same gender so that we can subject you?" Because there's a reason, and Honorable Kawino is here, we want to grow the numbers of women leadership in these constituencies. And because the president of the Women League is here, she will tell you that another deliberate step that we took in the last election because there are many obstacles that are placed in the path of women leadership, including the cost and violence that you have seen here. Mama ASIYO herself faced. We took the deliberate action to make sure that we will find money to pay for the nomination fees and the party life membership certificate for every woman who was running in a single constituency. And I know all of this because ODM has a program called He for She, that the women will not succeed if the men don't get out of their way or don't make deliberate action to support them. The patron of He for She in ODM is yours truly, Edwin Sifuna. Let me conclude by saying that I have also been very incited by the story that was told by Mama Zipporah Kitoni. I was very happy to hear that at some point Mama ASIYO threatened to resign because things were not going the way that she thought they should go. Munanielewa? Munanielewa? Saa ile mambo inaenda mbaya. You have a responsibility to put down your foot and say, this is not who we are. This is not what we stand for. These are not our values. I have been extremely motivated, Caesar, by the story of your late mother. And I was struggling here to find words of my own to describe the times that we live in. But I found a very powerful quote, a very powerful quote on the very first page of this eulogy. And with your permission, Caesar, I want to steal your mom's words and make them my own. That I believe that my future is now and that I am doing what I would have done in any lifetime. May the soul of this very great woman rest in eternal peace. God bless you.
Thank you, Senator Sifuna. You may have noticed that I stood immediately to ensure that he didn't resign at that point when he was trying to go towards that direction. He's a friend of mine, but if he was a sports ball, it would be a rugby ball because you'd never know where it bounces next. There are two people, and if you allow me, Maurice, who really we cannot eulogize Mama, and I believe that is what Honorable Mill is doing, Dr. Eve and Dr. Joyce Osogo Bensouda. You may want to grant them the opportunity. Thank you.
You have just made my life even more complicated. But as I was coming here,